Hi and welcome to ScrapbookPal.com. Raquel here from Paints and Glitter. I'm coming along today with some Altenew products. I'm going to be crafting with the Lush Botanicals Poinsettia along with holiday messages stamps, and I'm also going to be using a picture frame die set also from Altenew. So let me share with you what's here. This is a 3D embossing folder and die set. So as you see here in the front, the embossing folder is marked for you because when you use this, you're going to be able to use it along with the dies included to create a gorgeous poinsettia. And if you're familiar with Altenew, they also give you ideas as to which paper collections you can use directly from them if that's something you're interested in. I wanted to share with you the inside of the packaging because I love how Altenew does this, and especially if you're a visual learner as I am, this is very, very helpful. So it tells you exactly how you're going to be able to pair the different cardstock pieces, and then over here are your dies. And what you'll note is that the center of each die does have a different shaped notch, and of course these are also numbered, and in this case it's super easy because it's just all one piece with the exclusion of the centers of the poinsettias, but even that is labeled as centers. So if you're a beginner crafter, this makes crafting a whole lot easier. Now the stamps here have lots of different messages, and these are all going to be wonderful for the holiday season. So I like this one here. It says, "Counting my blessings this year, and you are right at the top of the list, wishing you a season of pure joy." How beautiful is that? So there are others here, of course. I like this one with prayers and warm wishes, big hugs, sending peace with all our love, your friends, with a heart full of gratitude. So you can use it for different seasons, of course. And then the picture frame die set happens to have little leaves, two different frames. Today I'm going to be using these products together, and I'm also going to have a blog post for you. So if you're new here to ScrapbookPal.com, that will be linked in the description bar below, along with all of the products today, so that if you like the ideas and want to get a hold of these, then you'll be able to do so as well. Let's begin by embossing the petals of our flowers. Now here, as you see, I've gone ahead and used some red cardstock, and I did use one with a really pretty weave in it, but now all we have to do is follow the chart that's already numbered for us in the embossing folder so that we can find the placement of each one of these poinsettia layers. So you're going to find that this is very easy to do. There are two smaller portions, but you'll notice that one has a certain shape to the leaves and the other one's different. And then there's also the little portion to give texture to what will be the center of the poinsettia. And I've used a pearlescent yellow card for that. And of course, you can use whichever colors you like. You do want to use the same folder for the leaves, so you can cut that out in a different color if you want to do that. I'm going to be spritzing this with some water because this will prevent the paper from cracking. Now you can go ahead and close this and follow the instructions for your particular die cutting machine, so that way you don't accidentally damage the folder. But once you've run that through your machine, you're going to be able to see how that gorgeous texture transfers right onto your papers. And of course, you want to let these dry, but you can further manipulate the papers while they're still wet if you want a lot of volume. So that's another little tip that you can use there. Now I'll be going to add all this texture, and then I'll be right back once these layers are complete so that we can put our poinsettia together. Next, what I would like to do is share with you how I'll be stamping the sentiments. Now, the sentiment that I'll be using for today's card, I've gone ahead and stamped in black ink. And as you see on your screen, I'm also using VersaMark, which is a clear or transparent ink. Now, you can use this with different types of techniques. Today, what I'm going to be doing with it is that I will be adding clear embossing powder on top of that already stamped sentiment. Now, I was very careful to not move the paper or the stamp in my platform. And so if you don't yet have a platform, this is a good reason to have one. But now all I have to do is sprinkle the embossing powder. I'm using Fawn clear embossing powder, but you can use any color that you like. The transparency of the ink and the embossing powder in this case is just because I want to keep the sentiment in the same color black as I originally stamped it. And I will have, of course, all of these supplies listed for you. But the next thing that I'm doing is using my heat it tool. Now it looks like a little blow dryer, but all it does is that it warms up that embossing powder until it melts. And I will be using the smaller of the two frames from the little frame die set so that I can create a framed sentiment. And I'm using a glitter cardstock, as you can see here, but it's not too bright because I don't want it to compete with the color of the poinsettia. And I'm sorry, my head was in the way there for a moment, but I was sizing that up. Now, let me share with you how I'll be using this. See how it's nicely framed now? All I did was cut around it, but that's the smaller of the two picture frames. And in your screen, you can also see the other layers that I'll be using and how my card is going to open. So I've cut my matting layers for my card, but the base is actually 10 inches by 6. I've scored it in half at 5 inches. So my card is 5 inches by 6 inches. I have a matting layer for the inside, and then I have this other piece, which is a tab that measures 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches, scored at 1/2 inch. And as you can tell, I folded that as a mountain fold and also cut the little corners a little bit so that there wouldn't be too much bulk. So this you can adhere to the inner portion of your card along the right hand side. And I know I got a little ahead of myself, as I usually do in card making, where I had placed my matting layer, but I still had room there in between the papers. And what's neat about this is that you can cover that little hinge that you've created with the paper with your matting layer. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and use small magnets as I'm doing here. You will only need 2 for that little hinge portion, or the tab is what I called it earlier. And here I'm using double-sided adhesive to cover the magnets, then placing 2 matching magnets right on top with a little dab of adhesive. And this is what's going to help me find the placement for those magnets on the opposite part of the card, which happens to be the card front. So once you have those 2 little magnets in place, you can start uncovering the adhesive. And this is really strong double-sided adhesive you can get from ScrapbookPal.com. And of course, you're going to want to mat the front of your card. And by the way, that is 4 13/16 by 5 14/16 of an inch. So once I've gotten those matting layers on the base of my card, I'm also going to cover up the inside and the outside of that tab. So I've used coordinating papers that I just happen to own, but for the inside, I did use white 300 GSM cardstock to cover that piece of paper, that tab. Now behind that, if you didn't want to use magnets, you can certainly use a ribbon, and then just make sure that you have a matching ribbon on the base of your card to close it with a little bow. But on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to adorn it with our sentiment, and I'm simply centering this. And I just wanted a little border of color, but as you can see there are 2 frames. So I made use of the second frame. I didn't actually frame anything out, but I just used this as a decorative element on what will be the front of the card, but it's going to play nicely with that smaller frame and also bring a little more of that gray color to our project. Now here what I'm doing is adding some distress ink to the papers. Now these are already dry. Of course, if you want to play around with color depending on the look you're going for, you can certainly add all sorts of different colors to your paper. Today I'm keeping it very simple with traditional colors, if you will, for Christmas. So I'm just using this very dark brown ink to add shadows to the edges of all of the papers. I'll be doing this for every single layer. And I think with the exclusion of the very center smallest layer, I'm not remembering at the moment, and I apologize. It's been a few days since I've made this card, but the idea here is just to kind of bring a little bit of focus to all of that texture. And whenever you add an ink, then it's going to help bring that out. Now, here are the centers of our poinsettia. You see the letter T? Every single layer is going to have that aperture in that shape. And all you have to do is match those up. So we're going to start with the largest layer. This is the one that's the base of the poinsettia, and then we're going to go on with the next layer. Now, there is the instructions that I shared with you in the beginning of the video, which is right on the packaging. So if it makes it easier for you to follow that, you can certainly do that. But I'm sharing here how I'm just matching those little apertures with a very small amount of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. This adhesive gives me time to move my paper as I need to, but it also dries quickly and it dries clear. So I highly recommend it. And then just using the back of my tweezers, because it is a small area, that's what I'll use to create a bit of pressure to make sure that my papers are adhering one to another. And as you can tell, this part is so easy. Just match your letters. And as you see there, even the tiniest one has the same aperture there in the center that you can follow with that shape, so that you know that your poinsettia is going to look absolutely fabulous. Now here's the uppermost layer. It's got this little trio there of buds, and then that topmost layer is the one that we embossed with our 3D embossing folder. It's got that beautiful texture as well, and it matches the base one. Now, another little pointer here is that because this is a flower, you can certainly pinch those little corners so that you can create a more realistic look. And as you can tell, I'm just manipulating the paper right along that little center seam line of each petal, if you will. And just gently, you can pinch these papers. But of course, if you're going for a more grungy look, you could even crumple some of the petals. It's all up to you. But today I'm keeping this very simple. And let me tell you, if you use good quality paper, you don't need to do a whole lot to achieve a really beautiful look. And here I'm doing the opposite motion for the leaves. And by the way, those were cut with the same die. All I did was line up the paper to the larger portion of that die so that I could get this cut out. So that's also included in the instructions. You can match up that little aperture, or you can now switch this up if you'd like to. It's up to you how you want this to look, of course. And I've just simply placed it right behind my little flower, and that's the result. But let's add some shimmer. And so here I'm sorry that this is not in frame, but that this is a product from Ranger, also from their Distress line, and it's a Spritz spray. It's quite shiny, but absolutely gorgeous. It comes in all of the different colors, by the way, so be sure to check that out on ScrapbookPal.com, because look at the shine on that flower now and how beautiful it is. Now, of course, I'm adding this to the uppermost layer of my card so that I can open and close it, but look at how simple and easy this was to make. Now, lastly, I am adding some little pearls from Honeybee Stamps, also available at Scrapbook Pal. These come in several different colors, and I just wanted a little bit of an antique gold to add to this, just because I thought it would be nice and elegant. But very little of this is necessary. You really don't need them. It's just something pretty, right? So here is the finished card. I hope that you have enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to scrapbookpal.com. Visit the blog, leave comments if you like these types of tutorials, and also check out their giveaways. They're very, very generous. And if you do share anything, be sure to share it on social media so we can see what you've created with your products. And here's another card. I'll have a tutorial for this one on my channel, Paints and Glitter. So if you're interested in taking a peek at that one, I welcome you to do so. But I thank you so much for watching today. And as always, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed.